Hello, friends. Thanks for joining me. This is Bible teacher Mike Drotis coming to you on the Search for Truth program, where we look at biblical signs that are happening in the here and now, and we try to understand exactly what they mean. The title of this message will be Signs, Signs, and More Signs. In Genesis, God told us in Genesis that He made the stars and the planets in the sky for signs, for seasons, for days and years. Signs point to something. A sign always points towards something. Just like road signs point towards the next city that you're going to on your journey. Signs are pointing to something. Peter preached about signs on his very first sermon when he preached on the day of Pentecost. He talked to us about what Joel had to say in Joel chapter 2, where Joel said that in the last days the sun would be darkened, the moon would turn to blood, and that there would be signs in the skies, signs on the earth, and signs under the earth. This is exactly what's happening right now. We're seeing signs happen, and that's what I want to discuss to you today. But before we get into the message, I did want to talk to you about blood moons, because last week I mentioned blood moons, but I never really explained to it. And we are going to get into the blood moons today, so I thought I'd describe what a blood moon is. Here's the recipe for a blood moon. You have the sun, you have the earth, and then you have the moon on the other side of the earth. The earth blocks the sun from shining on the moon, and the sun is so much bigger that the sunlight bends around the earth and then creates what looks like a blood moon or a red moon. A tetrad, which I referred to last week, is an event that occurs when there are 4 blood moons that occur on Jewish holidays. Jewish festivals. Very, very, very rare. Since 2,000 years ago, there have only been 8 tetrads that occurred. Since the birth of Christ, there have only been 8 tetrads. I want to talk about 4 of the tetrads and their relevancy because of how they affected the nation of Israel and the Jewish people. The first tetrad occurred in 1493, and this was during the Spanish Inquisition, when the Jews were being persecuted and expelled from Spain. A tetrad occurred, and this was also when the New World was discovered, where many Jews fled to the New World. Praise the Lord for that. 1949 and 1950, there was another tetrad, and that, if you remember, was the nation of Israel was born. After 2,000 years and 1,900 years of walking around in exile, the nation was regathered back together, and they became the nation of Israel. In 1967 and 68, there was the Six-Day War, and that was when Israel regained Jerusalem. And then the last tetrad, or most recent, occurred in 2014 and 2015. And this was shortly thereafter, Jerusalem was declared the capital of Israel. Every time there was a tetrad, something happened to the nation of Israel. Since that last tetrad, we have seen a lot of celestial signs occur. In August 21st, 2017, the great solar eclipse that split America in half. September 23rd, 2017, the Revelation 12 sign. I want to talk to you about that in another lesson because that is an incredible sign. July 27th, 2018, there was a blood moon over Israel. Then in July 20th, 2019, exactly 2 years into President Trump's presidency, a blood moon occurred over the nation of the United States. And upcoming soon, in April 8th, 2024, we will have a solar eclipse that once again will split right through the North America continent and right through America. Very, very, very exciting events that are happening. Keep your eyes on all the blood moons and whatnot. I want to talk to you now about signs on the earth. Jesus mentioned a few of these. He said in Matthew chapter 24, starting in verse 6, "And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. He's called them sorrows, but another translation translates them, all these are the beginning of birth pains. Just as a woman is in labor and the birth pains become more frequent and more intense, so too will these signs that we are seeing on the earth happen with more frequency and more intensity. There are wars and there are rumors of wars. There's nations against nations. There are kingdoms against kingdoms. There are people groups against people groups. There's an alliance of evil access that's formed to try to eradicate Israel. China is rising up. Russia is assuming some sort of power on the earth. And all of these nations are coming together. There is war in the air, I tell you. There is war in the air. And there's famines. There's a locust plague that's going through Africa right now. There are pestilence. We are in the midst of a lockdown, a worldwide lockdown, where we have to stay in our house and we have to socially distance ourselves. These things are real, and these are all signs, and they're happening with more and more intensity. What else? Earthquakes. Many, many earthquakes are happening on the earth. I asked a friend of mine, I said, how many earthquakes do you think have occurred since the beginning of the year that have been 2.5 or above? He thought for a while and he said, I don't know, maybe 5. And then he said, no, probably more. I'd say 10 happened since the start of the new year. I said, not even close. Just yesterday, according to the U.S. Geological website, there was 55 earthquakes that have happened of 2.5 or more in one day. I'm telling you, there are earthquakes happening every day. Between 20 and 50 earthquakes are happening. The earth is like a ring of fire. It is rumbling, it is groaning, and it is increasing with intensity and frequency such as we've never seen before. I'm telling you, the signs are there. We just have to be able to discern the signs. Finally, I want to talk to you from Matthew chapter 16. Jesus was talking to the Pharisees, and he said to them, when it is evening, you see it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and threatening. Hypocrites, you know how to discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. That's what we're trying to do in this show, discern the signs of the time. We'll be doing this every week. We'll be examining more and more signs. So keep looking up. Jesus is coming soon. God bless you.